And although that's pain.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Jack here, and today I'm showing you a house dedicated entirely to the color sand green. If you couldn't tell, this MOC is littered in sand green, and I decided I would make a modern house solely focused on using that color because I've kind of neglected it recently. But putting that color aside, I actually like this house a whole lot more than a lot of my other ones, and that's just because it's so completely different. It's not like any other modern house I do where you could almost say it's contemporary. This thing is actually modern. It has a lot of modern aspects to it that would actually be seen, and guess what? Modern architecture. But jumping right into the actual house, I want to show you exactly why this thing is called the sand green house. If I take off all the pine trees that surround it, you can see the ground is covered in only sand green. There's a couple of medium blue flowers, but that's really it. The house uses two main colors, that being white and sand green. The white kind of frames the entire build, and the sand green is kind of the inserts. Out front is the main entrance with some glass doors and some glass windows. The right hand side of this build actually has a garage. I don't know why I decided to include this, but directly next to that is a second entrance to the house, and the garage itself is built using some gray pieces that kind of act as a neutral between the sand green and the white, at least I think. So it looks like it fits there, but it's not exactly seen anywhere else on the MOC. Around back, the whole floor is planked off. This is kind of the deck area. There's a couple chairs so you can sit back and enjoy the sun, but there's really not much back here because I don't have enough room. As you can see, there's only two stud areas. But I think my favorite part about this exterior is the roof. I really like the way it looks, even though it's flat. It has a nice sand green skylight looking directly down into the inside below, and there's also a pool on the roof. And don't ask me how that works because it's definitely not deep enough. Just pretend it's actually real. The cool thing about this roof that I really like is that it's all using snot techniques. Every little bit of white you see are not actually tiles, it's actually wall pieces that are laid on their side. The sand green windows are also laid on their side, and the pool, well, that's not a snot technique. This roof does come off to reveal the interior, and there's a lot of cool rooms here. I actually like this interior a lot more than my other MOCs, so let's go ahead and jump right into this. When you first walk into the sand green house, the bathroom is on your left, and guess what? The floor is made of sand green. I really like the way this bathroom looks. The brown walls really complement everything in here. There's a pretty cool shower, a small little dresser that has a mirror, and of course the toilet. There's no sink in here, but you can always go to the kitchen to wash your hands if you're that paranoid. Directly across from that is a reading room. There's not too much here except a simple red couch and a little bit of space for you to relax. This is kind of the getaway point from this whole house. And those two rooms are connected via a snot technique. The floor here is actually made of tan bricks laid on their side. I used to use this technique all the time, but now I don't because I'm kind of lazy. But I think I should start using this a whole lot more just because there's not as many seams where the tiles don't exactly line up. If you take a left, you get to the very cool kitchen. I like this build a whole lot, even though it doesn't have a lot of color. It doesn't really pop out at you. I really like the way everything flows together. I especially like the windows that go directly above the counter but below the cupboards. I guess that's the backdrop. I don't really know technical terms for kitchens. But that room will take you directly into the living room, which is also very basic. There's a bookshelf along the back wall, a curved TV that I use a whole lot. I really like the way this build looks, even though it's very simple and doesn't exactly match any TV I've ever seen. But there's really cool snot techniques that make the coffee table and the couch so you can actually view this TV. I've really tried to experiment with snot techniques recently, and I really like the way it's turning out. I think I'm going to start using more and more of these techniques because they look really good. By the way, take a shot every single time I say really because I've just caught myself. So I'll try and tone that down just a little bit, but directly next to this living room is the bedroom, and I like this build quite a bit just because it's pretty simple and it doesn't actually have any details that really pop out at you. Dang it! There's just a simple bookshelf there and a simple snot technique to make the bed. But the final room to this house is the garage, and this is incredibly simple. All there is just a bunch of open space so you can actually park a car. There's a trash can and of course the shelf with all your cleaning supplies and fixing tools and everything you need for a garage, I guess. But that will wrap up this house, so if you did enjoy, leave a like down below. I will make sure to link some other house builds if you want to check those out. They'll be linked in the description down below. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and most importantly, take care, guys.